afternoon. My name is Scott Rudd, the Chief Strategic Officer at T3Live.com. Welcome to today's recap, a look ahead.
观众朋友们，大家好，欢迎收看今天的直击美股，我是主持人张舒，在纽约向您问好。今天美股涨跌互现，我们看到道琼斯工业指数是没能突破2万点的大关，而纳斯达克综合指数呢是创下了又一个的新高一个记录。那总的来说，今天市场呢交易量是比较清淡的，但是依然不乏一些亮点。这些亮点就包括了，比如说中概股今天的表现非常良好，而在接下来的一个采访当中，我们也会具体阐述究竟是哪些中概股表现良好。在宏观经济数据方面，今天发布的 NFIB 的一个小商业的一个信心指数呢，在12月份是创下了12年来的一个新高，相信这和特朗普当选是有非常密切的关系的。另外一方面，11月份的 Jones 公开市场的一个就业数量呢，也是达到了550万，也是一个不错的数字。另外一方面呢，由于特朗普在当选之后呢，其实很多板块都受到他的言论和政策的影响非常的密切，比如说他对于小商业的一个支持呢，我们看到罗素2000指数就飞快的上涨。那在这个过程当中呢，他是非常的强调要把美国的一个企业呢留在美国。如果说美国的企业要把自己的一个就业机会放到别的国家的话，他就会加收很多的一个关税哈。那在上一周呢，我们看到之前他在网上是公布就是攻击了一些企业，那其中比如说像福特这样的公司呢，就表示他们会把企业的一些生产线从墨西哥移到美国来。而在这样的信息发布之后呢，也是受到了很多人的一个争议啊。但是不管怎么样子，它对于未来的美国政策的一个重塑呢，是影响着市场未来的一个走向。好的，更多消息让我们来看一下今天的交易员访谈。Hi Scott, US stocks traded mixed today, and S&P seems to have a range bound. So it seems like we are having a tug of war between like bulls and bears. So how do you think about S&P right now?
I think it's kind of neutral but holding higher. I wouldn't be so, all in right here, but I'd be a bit more wait and see. If you look here at the S&P cash, to me it still looks good. You go to the chart, just a matter of where there's not that much momentum. Remember when it broke above this descending channel here, it took some time to digest and then boom, okay, after taking out this spot. So at this point, we're in this range, and here is the low end. That's where we ended the year. Tried to break out Friday, but it really didn't have a lot of power. Okay, so at this point, we'll see if the S&P cash could hold 2260. Holding 2260 is good. If not, could see the 21-day or lower. The reason why the S&P cash is not getting power is because oil, if you look at the USO, has been a drag. The first day of the year it had an outside day. Now it's been trending down. That's a little bit of a drag on the S&P and the Dow Jones.
And though we have a very choppy session, but there were some bright spots in the market right now, which is tech sector. And yesterday we talked about Chinese name like Alibaba, and you mentioned that if it break like $90, it break the downside trend. So how did that go? And also like JD, do we have a very good setup there? We may have some opportunities.
Well, at first we went over the pressure point, which has been oil, okay? But on the flip side, NASDAQ's at new highs, just like you said. And within the NASDAQ, you've had bios acting well, and we talked about the Chinese names acting well. Let's first take a look at the Qs. The Qs, in my opinion, still look good. I wouldn't be chasing them up here, but it's very healthy to see a nice breakout above area. So this looks different than the S&P cash and the oil that I just showed you. So the Qs are acting well, and so is technology. BABA, by the way, we talked about it breaking the downtrend, not yesterday, but last week. This is what you call a downtrend. This is when BABA reclaimed the 8 day. This was your time to buy it. Anyone short versus downtrend had it covered. Anyone looking for it to change could have bought right here. So yesterday we talked about how it acted well, and I was long it still because of his meeting with Donald Trump, and it's been on its way back to 100. So all in all, this has been a nice trade, especially if you bought it down here. So now, you mentioned JD. I do think there is an opportunity here in JD. Look at the chart of it, okay? Look at this downtrend here. It's been in a downtrend for quite some time. You could draw it from here. At this point, it's not necessarily woken up yet, but I feel like you could buy some JD as a swing trade versus spot, and then maybe add, if it starts taking out 2750 for better action here. This has been under consolidation for a while. It's now above all the moving averages, and today, it perked up a little bit. So at this point, I think that this is a decent swing trade for guys who are looking to swing it.
And on the other hand, financial is on focus right now because we'll have like big bank names reporting their earnings. And today we got like Goldman Sachs being downgraded, but it held very well. So how do you think about these bank names?
They're still consolidating, and I think that was very impressive, right? Citi said sell Goldman Sachs. It opened down $3 and closed green. So there's still some bids underneath these banks. And if you look at Goldman Sachs, you still have this upper range that's still intact. This is a lot of buying up here, a lot of consolidation. What does a consolidation do? Consolidates a big move. So anyone in this move might have been taking profits, but there seems to be a whole new level of buyers here. So you could be long versus this 235, and then at some point it'll help the Dow if the bank earnings are good and it starts clearing this 245. I tweeted earlier today that I was in the Bank of America calls, and Bank of America started to pop up really nicely back above the 8 and 21-day. Nice upper channel here that I do think on Friday, if it delivers, it's going to take out this 2340 and probably be closer to 25. So the banks are still consolidating, looking to have new buyers for potential higher prices. Let's hope on Friday when they start coming out with earnings that they deliver. The reason why I'm in options is because I don't take stock into earnings, because options is risk is premium paid, not excessive risk.
最后要提醒您的是 ，Scott Redler 2017年的年度的一个预测呢，已经现在发布了。如果您希望能够得到这份报告的话，就通过下面的联系方式来联系我们。好的，我们明天再见。